What is God like? Genesis chapter 23. Sarah lived 127 years. These were the years of the life of Sarah. And Sarah died at Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham went in to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. And Abraham rose up from before his dead and said to the Hittites, I am a sojourner and a foreigner among you. Give me property among you for a burying place, that I may bury my dead out of my sight. The Hittites answered Abraham, Hear us, my lord, you are a prince of God among us. Bury your dead in the choicest of our tombs. None of us will withhold from you his tomb to hinder you from burying your dead. Abraham rose and bowed to the Hittites, the people of the land. And he said to them, If you're willing that I should bury my dead out of my sight, hear me and entreat for me Ephron, the son of Zohar, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah, which he owns. It is at the end of his field. For the full price, let him give it to me in your presence as property for a burying place. Now Ephron was sitting among the Hittites, and Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham in the hearing of the Hittites of all who went in at the gate of his city. No, my lord, hear me. I give you the field. I give you the cave that's in it. And the sight of the sons of my people, I give it to you. Bury your dead. Then Abraham bowed down before the people of the land, and he said to Ephron in the hearing of the people of the land, But if you will hear me, I give the price of the field. Accept it from me, that I may bury my dead there. Ephron answered Abraham, My lord, listen to me. A piece of land worth 400 shekels of silver. What is that between you and me? Bury your dead. Abraham listened to Ephron, and Abraham weighed out for Ephron the silver that he had named. In the hearing of the Hittites, 400 shekels of silver, according to the weights current among the merchants. So the field of Ephron and Machpelah, which was to the east of Mamre, the field with the cave that was in it, all the trees that were in the field throughout its whole area, was made over to Abraham as a possession in the presence of the Hittites, before all who went in at the gate of his city. After this, Abraham buried Sarah, his wife, in the cave of the field Machpelah, east of Mamre, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. The field and the cave that is in it were made over to Abraham as property for a burying place by the Hittites. What is God like? He is the God of a great prince, Abraham, and a great princess, Sarah. Sarah's name means princess. And she was a beautiful woman, even when she was 90 and pregnant. She was a great princess of God, not because of her physical beauty, but because of her imperishable beauty on the inside. In 1 Peter chapter 3 verses 5 and 6, it said that she had an imperishable beauty on the inside, a quiet and gentle spirit. Her beauty was seen in her submission and obedience to her husband, Abraham. In this reading of Genesis 23, Sarah died and was buried, but her imperishable beauty was not buried. It was recorded in the New Testament 2,000 years later, and today here we are 4,000 years later reading about the imperishable beauty of the great princess Sarah. What is God like? He is the God of the great Prince Abraham. Why was he known as the great Prince of God? Because he knew how to treat his wife. He listened to Sarah and followed her advice about the children. He bought expensive property for her burial when they lived at a time period when women were treated poorly and treated like property. Abraham honored his wife as an equal heir to eternal life. And Abraham also knew how to treat his friends and neighbors. Abraham knew how to make friends and influence people. And in this chapter, God did not say one thing, not one word, but his neighbors said that he was the great Prince of God. Why? Because they saw how he treated his wife, and they saw what God did in his life, and they saw that he was a man of integrity. He fulfilled his word in every covenant. Abraham's descendants are going to bring the true Prince of Peace into this world, Jesus, so that we can truly know what God is like and who God is.